Yo, what's up? This is a ZvT on Andromeda, which a few people have been waiting for already, I think. And since the rush distances are quite long in this map, many terrains like to do a fast expansion, more or less fast. It might be well, from my experience, some have decided to go something like 9 barracks and rush if I'm careless, and then do a fast expansion at their natural with gas, and some mostly it's just 1 barracks to command center, and sometimes some terrains prefer to take the mineral only instead of the gas with their first command center, since that way it's much safer. They don't really have to fear any sort of rush if they're just playing as they should and all that stuff. So that's also an option. Some prefer to take the gas first and then do a little bit slower second expansion, and kind of like that way try and take the control of the game early on. I sent my 9th drone to scout, and and of course I'm building my hatchery over here. It's pretty much the same, except that if you build your 3rd hatchery to that base, it might be that if they're doing some sort of a fast rush, you won't be able to, the hatchery won't morph in time, so that you'd actually be able to sunken it up if you actually need it. So that's what you should take to account. And another thing which you should remember while playing on Andromeda, no matter if it's ZvT or ZvP, is that the Terran and Protoss can get almost instantly their second expansion as well in the mineral only and defend it, and you might not even know, and it's really amazing how much more units they get. It's like a completely different thing, and I've actually lost a few games on this map just because of that reason. Even if I'm leading the game at first and it's pretty much clear victory, then I sort of like forget to take into account that they actually have 2 expansions instead of 1, and that really makes a difference. Now instead of sending my 9th drone to that place, I decided to just send it back home, since it's pretty obvious that he's gonna have 1 or 2 marines which will threaten their drone, and on this map they usually want to do something like a fast expansion instead, and as I can see, the Overlord is over there. The drone wouldn't help much, since the distances are so long and it was the last place I'd scout, so it's just too unsafe, and I gain more by doing that. Since I'm doing a 3-hat mutalisk build, at least if I remember correctly, I believe I'm gonna do a 3-hat mutalisk build. I have to start my second gas my first gas pretty much instantly after I start my 3rd hatchery. This way I can get a good economy, but yet still my mutalisk won't really be late, so it's fine. But if I push it any further, it's gonna be too late, since even now it's just barely hanging around if I can actually deal well, damage with my mutalisk rush through this sort of thing. So that's why you just gotta be careful that you actually build a mutalisk in time. And a 3-hat build is quite solid, since you can be pretty safe. Now I saw in my minimap that he actually sent some marines over there. My Overlord saw them, if you saw them as well. That's why I built a sunken colony. The rush distances are long, as I have said before many times, so I'm not really panicking. My sunken colony will be plenty in time before they can do anything drastic, so it's quite fine. And since he only had 4 marines, 6 links will pretty much own them up, so it's okay. And this really will bring him back a lot. It's like a completely different thing if a Terran loses like quite a few of their marines in the early game than if a Zerg loses some Zerglings or so. It's like a completely different thing. They won't have as many marines to fight your mutas when they come. They won't have as many marines to defend whatever you're doing. They won't have as many marines to do the whatever marine medic rush, which means that you can sunken up less, or it's gonna be so late that you'll have your tech ready by the time. instead of actually placing the spire to an obvious position, you should usually try and place it somewhere where you believe that he won't be able to scout it or scan it with the first try, and also that well, the second scan also, if there's first two scans fail on seeing my tech, then they will be so much slowed down unless they want to play safe and build some turrets anyway. But in case if I'm not actually doing what they thought, then they're just might have wasted some money or something. So it's good to try and hide the spire. Not always, of course. It's sort of like a psychological warfare. It's not like it might end the game for sure, but it's sort of like something free for nothing, you know. I placed my fourth hatchery here since I noticed that my minerals will come back fast enough for the spire when it pops out. So I'm basically saving some larvae. Normally I wouldn't be doing saving it so much, but if I use a larva at this point, I wouldn't be able to get it back in time for 3 larvae instantly. So I decided to just wait a bit, maybe lose 1 larva from each hatchery due to that. So I guess it could have been a little bit better, but it won't really make a difference. At least if I don't just keep making all these small mistakes. I noticed also that he's already began to make turrets in his base, which means that he probably knows of my tech, so I gotta take that to account as well. Gotta attack sort of like where I think is the best. He's moving out with his marine medic army, and they're really easy targets if you have a decent Melis micro. Or the other option is that you target his base, which have barely no marines and medics like at all, so it's an easy place to do a lot of damage. Over here there are some marines, obviously destroy the blockade. They're careless. Good micro can really help you a lot. Many free kills, as you can see. He was careless over here, so I really get a huge lot out of that thing. Only dealing that much damage with a Melis harass against a good player can sometimes be good. At least if he's better than you. But I still have a good chance of dealing more damage, so why not, I guess. Attack over here. Turret came just in time, which annoyed me a little bit. Sort of like allows him to build his starports and so on better. But he's careless. He lost a lot of marines in early game, and he lost a lot due to being careless and came out of his base while I had Melisks. So this will really pay off now. You gotta take advantage of anything you simply possible. And here I'm basically just taking some SCVs. He doesn't have enough marines to actually be able to counter this all well, so it's all good for me. Here I'm making sure that my Melis won't be just shot by some turrets when they arrive, so I want to have them at full hit points. And meanwhile I of course make lurkers and links, expand a little bit. I'm not in such a hurry since I already have pretty much 2 expansions, but since he can easily get a new one, I gotta send one over soon. I'm a little bit careless with my macro, so I'm building some tech, doing stuff, expanding again soon, and now I'm bringing my lurkers. My Melis harass was pretty much success, so now when I bring lurkers and links, he probably won't have bunkers up yet, so I can really take advantage of his gameplay this way. Here I bring my Medaling Lurker, which is by the way a really powerful combo in the early game if you use it well and he's not totally overpowering you. Here I was able to bring my lurkers to his mineral line pretty much, which really helped me deal a huge lot of damage. Building more units meanwhile. Upgrades are not so important. Not so important is wrong, but they're not as important as, for example, in ZvT, since there's no drastic